On the surface, this new moon in Cancer looks like an opportunity for pretty straightforward, pretty clear abundance, but it may involve manipulation or playing chess as we get further into it. If you're excited to dive into what exactly we can expect from this new moon in Cancer, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. Hi, I am Maren. If you're new here, I make astrology videos. In this video and in all my videos, I'm using the tropical zodiac within Western astrology. And I also offer private readings and exclusive content linked down below. So if you're interested in meeting with me or looking at the courses and other content that I offer more exclusively, check those out down below. This new moon in Cancer is happening on July 17th, 2023 at 11:33 a.m. Pacific time, which means it will be at 2:33 p.m. Eastern time on the 17th. New moons are always when the sun and the moon are together in the sky, and they will be together at the end of Cancer in the third decan of Cancer, or the third part. So new moons always show new beginnings or the start of a cycle, and the sun and the moon together is very dark. It's very incubation oriented. Now, Cancer is already a very homely, very internal, very warm emotional sign, and the third decan of Cancer is associated with the Four of Cups tarot card, known as the Lord of Luxury. Because if you look at this card, it is an overflowing cup. It shows where there is more than, sorry, there's a cat meowing behind me, so I'm like, what's going on? And even though Cancer is overall ruled by the moon, this third part, this third decan, also has rulership by the moon. So it's a very lunar, very emotional, very giving part of the zodiac. Now, this card shows when there is more than enough, and there's the decisions that come from abundance. When you really made it, you then have the opportunity and kind of even the problem of rejecting or making some tough decisions, having good problems in a way. So, for example, if you make a lot of money, you need to then have the discussion around who's it going to in your will, or how are you setting up your assets, and there could be something that seems unfair or is challenging around that abundance. You're deciding who is getting the payout, what you're sharing, and there may be some outside judgment with these consequences. Now, this new beginning is one that indicates abundance because of the position, but it's also indicating partnership or a duality involved because the Cancer sun and moon are still conjunct Juno as they were, or the Cancer sun was in the last lunation, the full moon in Capricorn. Juno is the asteroid of partnership or of one-on-one connection with others. So this is still on the surface a very comforting, opportunistic, optimistic new beginning where we feel abundant with our partner from the start. However, it is opposite Pluto. And Pluto is the planet of manipulation, of complication, of crisis, and often shows a game of chess being played in many ways around this. So even though this can feel very optimistic and very fun from the start, there's an element of like playing chess or really deciding who's going to get what with this. There might be paranoia that you are not going to get your credit. There might also be a worry that you're going to have to go behind other people's backs or cut up the pie in a certain way around this. So in opposition to Pluto shows at this 180-degree angle between these two things, the sun and the moon in Cancer, and then opposing Pluto, that is a huge discrepancy. It's an opposition. There's a huge amount of back and forth. And the back and forth is between this very homely, very abundant, optimistic energy of wanting to stay back and just revel in what you've done and what you're doing and what is going to come up for you in this area of life, versus really getting into the weeds and playing chess and manipulating the situation, and likely feeling guilty going back and forth on whatever end you choose, either that you're not making the most of this opportunity or that you feel like you shouldn't be involved in this way. Oppositions often show obsession or hyperfixation, especially in regards to Pluto being involved there. However, I do like that there is a trine to Neptune, which shows the spirituality or the faith-based trust in this. So there is a higher purpose and everything. Yes, there's a little Sphinx kitty on my lap right now, but she's not really in frame. And there's a sextile to Uranus and Jupiter, which shows the opportunity for newfound realizations or insights that is a part of this. This is the last lunation with the North Node in Taurus, which is pretty cool because after this, the next lunation is going to have the North Node in Aries. So this is the final time with that stable, looking for a foundation kind of energy. Mercury will also be squaring Jupiter. And Mercury squaring Jupiter shows very empowering, larger than life, optimistic language. So expect people to be hyping each other up and the conversations to be very, very positive during this time, as we're having a positive conversation right now, it seems. However, Venus squaring Uranus does show disruptive relationships or parties acting a bit out of pocket and chaotic. It doesn't necessarily look bad, but it does look like relationships a little bit chaotic and out of pocket during this time. And one of the more challenging, or the most challenging thing during this, is that Mars will be opposite Saturn. Whenever Mars and Saturn are in a challenging aspect, it is the most challenging thing possible in astrology because those are the most overtly challenging planets. So Mars is the energy of wanting to go, 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 press on the gas. Saturn wants to press on the brakes and take a step back, be safe, take the money and leave, and not press on further. So having Mars opposite Saturn shows that there's tension in getting things going, whether it's you and the other party or within yourself. Disagreement between going full speed and really killing it, or stepping back and being more conservative and more careful with your actions. This is often a stalemate gridlock energy where there's a lot of frustration and not a whole lot getting done. So it could be that there's a big delay here until all parties sort out how exactly the manner in which you're going to go about this is. Mars will also be conjunct Pallas, and asteroid Pallas shows knowledge, learning, or being someone who is embodying wisdom. So Mars conjunct Pallas shows that this is a teaching moment, that the way that we're disagreeing with others is actually a big teacher and a big learning point, and we're able to become more educated on how exactly we can coexist because of this direct conflict, actually. So in totality, this is a pretty nice new beginning of abundance, but beneath the surface, there's manipulation, there's power games, and there's decisions here around the most healthy, most straightforward method of action that you want to take around this. So if you have any thoughts or any questions around this new moon that you want to comment, feel free to leave that down below. I'm definitely interested in hearing what you have to say around this new moon in Cancer. I know that I'm very curious around how this is going to show up in my life as a Capricorn rising in my 7th house of committed relationships. But yeah, that should be very interesting. So now running through what this means for all of the rising signs, not just me, do note that I also have videos that I make every month for each of the rising signs, which fully describe how this will be showing up in your life. So if you are also a Capricorn rising, let's just start there. This will be in your 7th house of committed relationships or partnerships. So in some type of intense and a little bit complicated of a new beginning in a close relationship, not necessarily romantic. If you are an Aquarius rising, this will be in your 6th house of physical health or coworkers. So there could be a new way that you're working on your health. Could also be something new starting in the workplace that you're now embarking on. If you are a Pisces rising, this will be in your 5th house of creativity or dating. Could be a new romantic relationship or could be a new creative project that you're embarking on. If you are an Aries rising, this will be in your 4th house of home or family. So it could be a new beginning with your house or something new starting with your family. If you are a Taurus rising, this will be in your 3rd house of communication, content, and routine. So you could be starting something new that you're writing, filming, doing with content, or something new with how you manage your time hour to hour. If you are a Gemini rising, this will be in your 2nd house of income or spending. So something new could be starting around the way that you're spending money or the way that you're making money. If you're a Cancer rising, this will be in your 1st house of self and identity. So it's very much spotlight on you time of doing something where you get the eyes on you. If you are a Leo rising, this will be in your 12th house of mental health or spirituality. So you might be starting something to benefit your mental health behind the scenes, like therapy or a medicine of some kind. If you're a Virgo rising, this will be in your 11th house of networking or connections to social groups. Could be starting a tie to a social group or a group of people that are very like friends or organization based. If you are a Libra rising, this will be in your 10th house of career, new beginning in the workplace or a new job. And if you are a Scorpio rising, this will be in your 9th house of foreign travel or higher education. Could be a new trip, long distance, or a new path of study you're embarking on. And if you are a Sagittarius rising, this will be in your 8th house of finance or investing, which would be a new decision to invest or allocate money in a certain way. The Amio deck card that we have for this new moon is Moon. Intuition, inside world, emotions, needs, comfort zone. So this card, being that it's a new moon in the sign of the moon Cancer, shows a huge amount of lunar providing home foundational energy. So think about what will make you most foundationally secure, what really lights you up at the end of the day with what you internally value, and value your emotional safety above all else. Hope that you enjoy this new moon, and I will catch you in the next one.